You grab your morning glass of water thinking you're doing your body a favor. But here's what nobody tells you after 60. That plain H2O is barely making it past your lips before your body starts working against you. Studies show that after age 60, 40% of adults have elevated serum osmolarity despite drinking plenty of water. Your body has quietly changed the rules of hydration, and that innocent glass of water you've trusted for decades is now about as effective as trying to water a plant with a leaky bucket. The science behind why this happens will shock you. But what's even more surprising are the 4 common household items that can transform your water into a muscle-saving powerhouse. To understand the solution, you first need to know exactly what went wrong. The great water deception after 60. Your muscle cells used to welcome water like old friends at a reunion. They would open their doors wide, invite it in, and hold onto every drop for hours. But something changed after you hit 60, and nobody bothered to send you a memo about it. Those same muscle cells that once absorbed water eagerly now function with decreased efficiency, creating a hydration challenge that affects virtually everyone who reaches this age. The transformation happens so gradually that most people miss it entirely. Your muscle cells, which once functioned like absorbent sponges, have undergone predictable biological changes that reduce their water-holding capacity. This isn't some cruel twist of nature designed to make your golden years more challenging. It's a measurable physiological shift that the medical community rarely explains in terms that make sense for daily life. 3 major changes occur inside your body that turn your trusted hydration routine into an exercise in reduced efficiency. First, your absorption capacity decreases significantly as the intestinal lining that once grabbed water molecules and rushed them into your bloodstream now works at a fraction of its former efficiency. Second, your muscle cells start losing water faster than they can take it in as the cellular membrane develops increased permeability that allows precious hydration to escape before it can provide benefits. Third, your body's mineral retention system becomes less effective as aging kidneys concentrate urine 20% less efficiently, raising serum osmolarity and making it harder for cells to maintain proper hydration balance. Drinking plain water after 60 resembles trying to fill a container that has developed multiple small leaks while using reduced water pressure. You can pour and pour, but most of what you're adding drains right back out without stopping long enough to benefit your muscle tissue. The water goes in one end and exits through the other without providing the cellular hydration your muscles need to function optimally. This explains why you can drink what feels like gallons throughout the day and still experience the symptoms of dehydration. The morning stiffness that takes longer to shake off isn't just about getting older. Those afternoon energy crashes that hit without warning aren't simply part of the aging process. That annoying need to grab onto furniture or walls when you stand up isn't necessarily a balance issue. These complaints all connect back to poor cellular hydration that leaves your muscles operating in survival mode rather than thriving mode. Your muscle fibers need adequate water to contract smoothly, generate energy efficiently, and maintain the structural integrity that keeps you steady on your feet. Your body has essentially rewritten the hydration rulebook without consulting you about the changes. The old rules that worked perfectly well for decades no longer apply. Where plain water once did the job effectively, your cells now require enhanced conditions before allowing optimal entry. The biological systems that once automatically handled hydration now require active management and strategic thinking. This isn't a sign of failure or weakness. It's simply how human physiology adapts to the aging process. 4 common household items can serve as molecular facilitators that help water gain successful entry into your muscle cells. These ingredients transform ordinary water into enhanced hydration that your muscles will actually use instead of immediately discarding. The science behind why these particular substances work so effectively will surprise you, especially when you realize how simple and affordable the solutions really are. Understanding this biological shift explains the mystery of why you feel tired and sluggish despite drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Your body isn't broken or defective. It's operating according to new parameters that require updated strategies. The fatigue, muscle weakness, and general lack of vitality that many people accept as inevitable consequences of aging often result from chronic mild dehydration at the cellular level. Your muscles are literally thirsty, but they're rejecting the plain water you offer because it doesn't meet their updated requirements. Ignoring these changes accelerates muscle loss and reduces independence over time. Poorly hydrated muscle tissue becomes weaker, less flexible, and more prone to injury. The cascade effect touches every aspect of physical function, from balance and coordination to strength and endurance. What starts as a minor hydration issue can eventually compromise your ability to live independently and enjoy the activities that matter most to you. Your muscle cells haven't stopped needing water. They've simply developed more specific requirements about what they'll accept. The decreased function of aquaporin water channels and reduced thirst regulation that comes with aging means your cellular hydration system needs additional support to work effectively. Your cells now require enhanced water that comes with the right supporting cast of minerals and compounds that facilitate proper absorption and retention. The solution isn't drinking more water, which often makes the problem worse by further diluting the minerals your body desperately needs. Instead, the answer lies in drinking enhanced water that meets your muscles' updated specifications. Small additions to your regular water intake can dramatically improve how much hydration actually reaches your muscle tissue and stays there long enough to provide real benefits. These modifications don't require expensive equipment, complicated protocols, or dramatic lifestyle changes. The ingredients already exist in most kitchens, waiting to transform your ineffective hydration routine into a muscle-supporting system that actually works. The first addition alone can improve water absorption by helping your intestinal tract recognize and process hydration more efficiently. When combined with the other 3 ingredients, the effects compound to create a comprehensive solution that addresses all aspects of age-related hydration challenges. Your morning water doesn't have to remain ineffective. With the right knowledge and simple adjustments, that same glass can become the foundation for maintained muscle strength, improved energy levels, and better overall physical function. But first, you need to understand exactly what's happening at the cellular level when your muscles decide they're no longer cooperating with your hydration efforts. Your muscles are staging a water rebellion. Picture your muscle cells as tiny rebels who have decided to stage a full-scale uprising against plain water. These microscopic troublemakers now act like exclusive nightclub bouncers, turning away perfectly good water molecules that don't have the right credentials. The biological changes happening inside your body create a frustrating cycle that leaves many seniors feeling confused and defeated. They drink water throughout the day, sometimes forcing themselves to consume amounts that seem excessive, yet they still experience symptoms of dehydration. Their muscles feel tight and stiff. Their energy levels remain low. They experience cramps and balance issues that seem to worsen despite their diligent water consumption. The more water they drink, the more frustrated they become when nothing seems to improve. They're essentially trying to solve a problem using the old rules while their body operates according to completely new regulations. Research shows that muscle intracellular hydration drops roughly 18% after just 10 days of mild electrolyte deficit. This means your muscle tissue literally cannot store water as effectively as it once did, even when everything else works perfectly. Think of it like downsizing from a large storage unit to a much smaller one. You can still put things inside, but there's considerably less room, and you have to be much more selective about what you choose to store. Your muscles have undergone this downsizing without consulting you about the decision. The cellular drama unfolds like a soap opera with multiple storylines happening simultaneously. Electrolyte channels start closing shop early, like businesses that decide to shut down before their regular hours for no apparent reason. These channels, which once stayed open around the clock to help water enter muscle cells, now operate on reduced schedules and take frequent breaks. Meanwhile, mineral transporters have gone on strike, refusing to help move essential nutrients that assist with water retention. They've essentially decided that their job description no longer includes helping plain water molecules find their way into muscle tissue. Water molecules themselves start getting the cold shoulder from cellular machinery that once welcomed them enthusiastically. The proteins and enzymes responsible for helping water cross cell membranes become less cooperative, like customer service representatives who have decided they no longer care about helping customers solve their problems. These molecular workers still show up for their jobs, but they perform their duties with obvious reluctance and reduced efficiency. The result is water molecules bouncing off muscle cell walls like rejected applicants at a job interview. The concept of cellular credentials becomes crucial for understanding this biological rebellion. Muscle cells now require proper identification before they'll allow water through their gates. These credentials come in the form of electrolytes and minerals that serve as molecular passports. Without the right supporting documents, water molecules get turned away at the cellular border, regardless of how desperately the muscle tissue needs hydration. Plain water arrives at muscle cells like a tourist, without a visa trying to enter a foreign country. Some people over 60 seem mysteriously immune to this hydration problem, while others struggle despite drinking what feels like gallons of water daily. The difference often lies in their diet, medication regimen, activity level, and genetic factors that influence how quickly their cellular systems adapt to age-related changes. Those who naturally consume more electrolyte-rich foods or who have maintained higher activity levels may experience a more gradual transition. Others who rely heavily on plain water and processed foods may find their muscles rebelling more dramatically and obviously. The connection between cellular rebellion and common symptoms becomes clear when you understand what happens when muscle cells don't receive adequate hydration. Cramps occur when muscle fibers can't maintain proper fluid balance during contraction and relaxation cycles. Stiffness develops when muscle tissue becomes less pliable due to inadequate water content. Balance issues arise when muscles can't respond quickly and smoothly to stability challenges, because they're operating in a dehydrated state that impairs their function. Morning stiffness that takes longer to resolve isn't just about joints and arthritis. Much of that uncomfortable rigidity comes from muscle tissue that spent the night slowly losing water without adequate replacement. Your muscles wake up in a mildly dehydrated state that affects their ability to move smoothly and respond to your commands. This explains why the stiffness often improves gradually throughout the day as you move around and consume fluids, though plain water alone may not provide the complete solution your cells now require. The afternoon energy crashes that seem to hit without warning often result from muscle cells that can't maintain adequate hydration to support sustained energy production. When muscle tissue operates in survival mode due to poor hydration, it conserves energy for essential functions and reduces output for activities like maintaining good posture, smooth movement, and physical stamina. You feel tired because your muscles are literally working harder to accomplish the same tasks they once performed effortlessly. Balance problems that seem to worsen over time frequently connect to muscle cells that can't respond rapidly to stability challenges. Proper hydration allows muscle fibers to contract and relax quickly when your body needs to make adjustments to maintain equilibrium. When muscle cells are poorly hydrated, their response time slows down, making you feel unsteady or requiring you to grab onto furniture for support during normal activities. The cellular rebellion isn't a permanent condition that you have to accept as an inevitable part of aging. With the right water absorption enhancers, you can convince your muscle cells to reconsider their strict policies and return to more cooperative behavior. The solution involves providing the credentials and supporting documentation that your cells now require before they'll allow water to enter and remain where it's needed most. Small changes to your hydration routine can restore peace between your muscles and your water intake, transforming rejected hydration into welcomed cellular nourishment that actually works. The answer to this hydration puzzle has been hiding in plain sight all along. The lemon salt conspiracy, your kitchen has been hiding. The first ingredient combination sits right there in your kitchen, probably positioned where you can see it every morning while you struggle with your ineffective water routine. That lemon you bought for cooking and the container of mineral salt you use for seasoning have been quietly waiting for you to discover their hidden potential. These two ordinary ingredients, when combined with water, create something that works like a molecular skeleton key for aging muscle cells that have become impossibly selective about what they allow inside. Most people walk past this combination daily without realizing they possess the tools to solve their hydration problems. The lemon sits there looking innocent, maybe getting used for the occasional recipe or tea. The mineral salt stays tucked away in the cabinet, emerging only when food needs flavoring. Neither ingredient seems particularly impressive on its own, yet together they form a partnership that can convince even the most stubborn muscle cells to cooperate with your hydration efforts. The magic happens because these two ingredients address the specific problems that plain water cannot solve in aging bodies. Lemon contains citric acid that activates water absorption channels in your small intestines that have become sluggish and unresponsive over time. Research shows that citric acid functions like a diplomatic negotiator, slightly altering the pH of your water to make it more compatible with your body's absorption mechanisms and facilitating its entry into your bloodstream where it can actually provide benefits. Your intestinal lining, which once grabbed water molecules eagerly and rushed them into circulation, now operates more like a sluggish processing center that handles requests slowly and sometimes loses track entirely. The citric acid convinces those stubborn intestinal channels to open up and start doing their job properly again, essentially providing the right chemical signals to pay attention to the water you're trying to absorb. Mineral salt serves as the VIP credentials that get water past the muscle cell gatekeepers who have been turning away plain H2O with increasing frequency. Balanced mineral salts like sea salt or Himalayan salt provide essential electrolytes including potassium, magnesium, and sodium in ratios that your muscle cells recognize as proper identification. These electrolytes are crucial for maintaining fluid balance and, more importantly, for helping water anchor inside muscle cells rather than immediately escaping. The sodium, potassium, and magnesium in quality mineral salt provide the molecular documentation that your muscle cells now require before they'll unlock their doors and welcome hydration inside. Think of mineral salt as the connection that knows how to get things done. Without this support, water arrives at muscle cells like an uninvited visitor trying to enter a restricted area. The cellular security takes one look at plain water and immediately escorts it away from the premises. But when water shows up accompanied by mineral salt, those same gatekeepers suddenly become cooperative, opening pathways and making sure the water reaches exactly where it needs to go inside the muscle tissue. A 2022 study published in the journal Nutrients demonstrates the remarkable effectiveness of this simple combination. Research tracking older adults showed that intracellular hydration increased by approximately 30% after just 5 days when they drank water with appropriately balanced electrolytes. This improvement occurred quickly, proving that your muscle cells respond when you provide what they actually need rather than continuing to offer what they keep rejecting. The study participants reported noticeable changes in how their muscles felt and performed. Morning stiffness that usually took 30 or 40 minutes to resolve began improving within 15 minutes of getting up. The afternoon energy crashes that typically hit around 2 or 3 o'clock became less severe and sometimes disappeared entirely. Physical activities that once left them feeling drained and sore became more manageable, with faster recovery times and less lingering muscle fatigue. Many people worry about adding salt to their routine because they've been told for years that salt increases blood pressure and causes health problems. This concern makes perfect sense given decades of medical advice about reducing sodium intake. However, the amounts used in this hydration strategy are minimal. Only a pinch of quality mineral salt per glass is needed, containing approximately 500 mg of sodium, which falls far below the National Council on Aging's recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams. and the American Heart Association's ideal limit of 1,500 mg. The key distinction lies in using mineral salt rather than regular table salt. Mineral salt contains balanced amounts of potassium and magnesium, along with sodium, creating the proper ratios that your body recognizes and uses efficiently. Table salt, which has been stripped of these other minerals during processing, can indeed cause problems when used in larger quantities. But mineral salt in small amounts actually helps regulate fluid balance throughout your cardiovascular system. The immediate effects of this combination often surprise people who have been struggling with hydration issues for months or years. Within the first few days, many notice that they feel more flexible when they wake up in the morning. Their muscles seem to respond more readily to movement, and the stiff sensation that usually accompanies getting out of bed begins to fade. Energy levels throughout the day become more stable, without the dramatic fluctuations that characterize poor hydration. The exact preparation requires nothing more complicated than adding the juice of half a fresh lemon and a pinch of quality mineral salt to 16 ounces of water. Drink this mixture first thing in the morning, about 20 minutes before eating breakfast. This timing allows the citric acid and electrolytes to begin working on your absorption systems before food competes for attention. The taste is mild and pleasant, similar to a very light lemonade without sweetener. This combination represents just the beginning of what becomes possible when you understand how to work with your body's changed requirements. While lemon and mineral salt create noticeable improvements in muscle hydration, your cells may still need additional support to achieve optimal function. The biological systems that manage hydration in your body operate like complex negotiations between different departments, and sometimes those departments need professional mediation to work together effectively. Electrolyte powder, the molecular peace treaty. Electrolyte powder functions like sending in skilled negotiators to resolve the ongoing conflict between your body systems that have been competing for limited hydration resources. Your kidneys, muscles, and cardiovascular system have essentially been working against each other, each demanding priority access to the water you provide. This biological tension creates the fatigue, cramps, and unsteadiness that many people accept as normal aging. Quality electrolyte powder arrives with the diplomatic credentials needed to restore cooperation between these competing systems. Most people assume electrolytes are exclusively for athletes or hospital patients, creating a misconception that prevents seniors from considering what might be their most important daily supplement. The marketing around electrolyte products focuses heavily on young, athletic bodies engaged in intense physical activities, suggesting that ordinary older adults have no business using these supplements. This couldn't be further from the truth. Your body needs electrolytes more urgently now than during your younger years, even without running marathons or playing competitive sports. A hidden epidemic affects people over 60 who believe they maintain excellent health through careful diet and regular water consumption. These individuals eat their vegetables, take their vitamins, and drink what seems like adequate amounts of water throughout the day. Yet beneath this apparently healthy exterior, their cells struggle with chronic electrolyte deficiency that undermines every aspect of their physical function. They follow all the conventional health advice, yet continue experiencing symptoms that suggest something fundamental is missing. Research reveals a shocking statistic that challenges everything most seniors believe about their hydration status. Studies show that approximately 67% of people over 60 exhibit signs of chronic mild dehydration, despite drinking what they consider adequate water throughout the day. This means that 2 out of every 3 seniors are walking around in a state of cellular drought while believing they're properly hydrated. The disconnect between perceived hydration and actual cellular water content represents one of the most widespread health issues affecting older adults today. Quality electrolyte powder with correct calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium ratios ensures efficient water entry and retention at the cellular level. Sodium approaches your cells like a skilled mediator who convinces them to open their doors and accept the water you're trying to provide. It creates the proper electrical gradient that allows water to flow into muscle tissue, efficiently rather than bouncing off cellular walls like rejected visitors. Potassium functions as the balancing force, who ensures water stays inside muscle cells long enough to provide real benefits. While sodium helps water enter your cells, potassium makes sure it remains there and doesn't immediately escape. These two minerals work together like experienced negotiators who understand exactly what each side needs to reach a mutually beneficial arrangement that stops the internal competition and restores normal function. Magnesium acts like a master key that unlocks over 300 enzyme processes throughout your body that keep muscles happy and functional. When magnesium levels are adequate, cellular machinery that has been stuck and unresponsive suddenly starts working smoothly again. Muscle fibers that have been tight and inflexible begin to relax and move properly. Energy production systems that have been operating at reduced capacity return to normal output levels. These enzyme processes control everything from muscle contraction and relaxation to energy production and waste removal. Without adequate magnesium, your muscle cells operate like a factory where half the equipment has broken down, and nobody can find the right tools to fix anything. With proper magnesium levels, that same factory runs smoothly where every department coordinates seamlessly with the others. The connection between electrolyte imbalance and common complaints becomes obvious once you understand what happens when these negotiations fail. Night cramps occur when muscle cells can't maintain proper electrical balance during rest periods. Your muscles essentially short-circuit like faulty electrical equipment, causing painful spasms that wake you from deep sleep. Morning stiffness develops when muscle tissue spends the night in a state of mild dehydration that makes fibers less pliable and responsive to movement commands. That wobbly feeling when you stand up results from muscle cells that can't respond quickly to balance challenges because they lack the electrolyte resources needed for rapid communication between brain and muscle tissue. Your nervous system sends signals telling your muscles to adjust and maintain stability, but those messages get lost or delayed in translation. The result is uncertainty and unsteadiness that makes you reach for furniture or walls for support during normal activities. Choosing the right electrolyte powder requires careful attention to ingredients that support senior health rather than athletic performance. Many commercial products contain caffeine, excessive sugar, and artificial additives that can cause problems for older adults managing chronic conditions. Look for powders that provide balanced ratios of sodium, potassium, and magnesium without unnecessary stimulants or sweeteners that interfere with medications or blood sugar control. The timeline for improvement often surprises people who have struggled with these symptoms for months or years. Studies show a 30% increase in intracellular hydration after 5 days of balanced electrolytes, according to research published in the Journal of Nutrients in 2022. This means your muscle cells begin accepting and retaining water more effectively, almost immediately, once you provide the molecular credentials they've been demanding. The transformation happens at the cellular level, where muscle fibers that have been operating in survival mode suddenly have access to the resources they need for optimal function. Energy production improves. Flexibility increases. Balance becomes more stable. The chronic low-level inflammation that contributes to stiffness and discomfort begins to resolve as properly hydrated cells can perform their maintenance and repair functions more effectively. For optimal results, mix half a teaspoon of quality electrolyte powder with 500 milliliters of water and drink this mid-morning or after your daily walk. This timing allows the electrolytes to work when your body is most receptive to hydration support without interfering with meals or medications. The right electrolyte powder can restore your muscle cells' cooperation within days of beginning supplementation. Your cellular rebellion against plain water transforms into acceptance of enhanced hydration that actually reaches muscle tissue and stays there long enough to provide lasting benefits. While electrolyte powder creates dramatic improvements, nature has spent millions of years perfecting an even more sophisticated hydration solution that makes laboratory formulations look like amateur attempts at recreating perfection. Coconut water powder, nature's hydration hack. Freeze-dried coconut water preserves its naturally high potassium content of 600 mg per serving and includes magnesium and calcium, matching research on superior hydration for aging muscle cells. This tropical solution addresses the exact problems that plague muscle tissue after 60 without requiring complicated chemistry or artificial manipulation. The coconut water powder contains everything your stubborn muscle cells have been demanding, packaged in the precise ratios that your body recognizes and accepts without question or resistance. The effectiveness lies in how this natural solution delivers electrolytes in the exact proportions that human muscle cells prefer, creating harmony that resembles a perfectly tuned orchestra, where every instrument plays its part at exactly the right volume and timing. Unlike manufactured sports drinks that throw random amounts of minerals together and hope for the best, coconut water provides potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium in relationships that evolved specifically to support cellular function. Your muscle cells recognize these ratios immediately because they match the internal requirements that your body has maintained for thousands of years. Research from the International Society of Sports Nutrition demonstrates that coconut water rehydrates as well or better than sports drinks without added sugar, making it particularly effective for seniors who need consistent hydration support. Studies show that this natural solution provides essential minerals in forms that your body recognizes and utilizes efficiently, unlike synthetic versions that may not absorb as readily. The naturally occurring electrolytes in coconut water match the molecular structures that your cells expect, making absorption faster and more complete than artificially created alternatives. This potassium content becomes especially important after 60 because natural potassium absorption decreases while cellular demand for this mineral increases. Your muscle cells need more potassium to maintain proper electrical balance, yet your digestive system becomes less efficient at extracting this mineral from regular food sources. The 600 milligrams of potassium per serving provides exactly what aging muscles require for proper function, significantly higher than most sports drinks and delivered in a form your body immediately recognizes. The research also reveals that coconut water provides powerful hydration support without causing bloating or digestive discomfort that often affects older adults. This gentle effectiveness makes it particularly suitable for seniors who have developed sensitivities to artificial ingredients or who experience stomach upset from conventional hydration products. Unlike harsh sports drinks that can irritate sensitive digestive systems, coconut water remains easy on your stomach while providing the mineral support your muscles desperately need. Many people remain skeptical about coconut water because they assume it represents another trendy health product that promises more than it delivers. This skepticism makes perfect sense given the endless parade of expensive supplements and miracle cures that target older adults with big promises and disappointing results. However, coconut water has a long history that predates modern marketing by centuries. Pacific Island cultures have relied on coconut water for hydration and health for thousands of years, long before anyone invented sports drinks or understood the science behind electrolyte balance. The solid science behind coconut water removes any doubt about its effectiveness for senior hydration needs. The naturally occurring electrolytes provide essential minerals without the artificial additives that make many commercial products problematic for regular consumption. This natural approach becomes important for seniors who need consistent hydration support, but want to avoid the chemicals and preservatives found in manufactured alternatives. Coconut water doesn't increase blood pressure, interfere with sleep patterns, or overstimulate the nervous system like many energy beverages and artificial sports supplements. This gentle approach makes it safe for seniors managing chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart problems that require careful attention to what they consume. The natural sugars in coconut water are present in small amounts that don't cause dramatic blood sugar spikes, making it suitable even for people who must monitor their glucose levels carefully. The convenience factor of powder form eliminates the hassles associated with fresh coconuts or bottled versions that may contain added ingredients you don't want. Fresh coconuts require special tools to open and can be messy and inconvenient for daily use. Bottled coconut water often contains added sugars, preservatives, or flavoring that reduces its effectiveness and introduces unwanted chemicals. The freeze-dried powder form preserves all the beneficial properties of fresh coconut water while making it easy to store, measure, and use whenever you need it. The freeze-drying process maintains the unique electrolyte profile that makes coconut water so effective while creating a lightweight, pure product that dissolves easily in water. This processing method removes only the water content while preserving all the minerals and beneficial compounds that make coconut water such an effective hydration solution. When you mix the powder with water, you get essentially the same nutritional profile as fresh coconut water, without the inconvenience or expense of dealing with whole coconuts. For optimal results, mix 1 teaspoon of coconut water powder with 300 to 500 milliliters of water, depending on your preference for concentration. This simple preparation provides all the electrolyte benefits in a convenient form that you can adjust based on your specific needs and activity level. The powder dissolves completely, creating a light, refreshing drink that most people find enjoyable even when consumed daily. The powder form also allows you to control the concentration based on your specific needs and preferences. You can make it stronger for post-exercise recovery or lighter for daily maintenance hydration. This flexibility makes it easy to customize your hydration approach based on your activity level, health conditions, and personal taste preferences. This tropical powder can transform cellular rebellion into cooperative harmony, providing the natural hydration support that your muscles have been demanding. The combination of gentle effectiveness and proven results makes coconut water powder an essential component of any senior's hydration strategy. However, one more ingredient remains that challenges everything most people believe about supplements and aging, yet offers remarkable benefits that seem almost too good to be true. The creatine surprise, your muscle's secret energy bank. Creatine represents the ingredient most associated with young bodybuilders pumping iron in testosterone-fueled gym environments. Yet it actually serves as a senior citizen's best friend, though virtually nobody talks about this shocking reality. This supplement has been trapped in a marketing prison that associates it exclusively with massive muscles, protein shakes, and 20-something athletes who spend hours lifting heavy weights. This narrow perception has created one of the biggest missed opportunities in senior health, preventing millions of older adults from accessing a supplement that could dramatically improve their muscle strength, hydration, and overall quality of life. The widespread misconceptions and fear surrounding creatine in the over 60 population create unnecessary barriers that keep people from experiencing remarkable benefits. Many seniors believe creatine will make them bulk up like bodybuilders or cause dangerous side effects that their aging bodies cannot handle. Others worry that taking creatine means admitting they're weak or desperately trying to recapture their youth through artificial means. These fears prevent them from discovering that creatine works completely differently in older adults than in young athletes, providing gentle support rather than dramatic muscle building. Creatine functions as your muscle cell's personal savings account, storing energy for emergencies and unexpected expenses that arise during daily activities. Think of it like having a financial emergency fund that prevents you from going into debt when unexpected costs appear. Your muscle cells use this stored energy when they need extra power for activities like getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, or maintaining balance during challenging movements. Without adequate creatine stores, your muscles operate like someone living paycheck to paycheck with no savings to fall back on during difficult times. Your body produced plenty of creatine naturally during your younger years, maintaining healthy energy reserves in every muscle cell without requiring conscious effort or supplementation. However, natural creatine production declines significantly after age 60, leaving muscle cells financially broke and unable to maintain themselves properly. This decline happens gradually, So most people never realize their cellular energy banks are slowly emptying until they start experiencing symptoms like fatigue, weakness, and slower recovery from physical activities. The cellular bankruptcy that results from declining creatine production affects every aspect of muscle function, from basic contractions needed for movement to complex coordination required for balance and stability. Muscle cells that once had abundant energy reserves now struggle to perform routine tasks that should feel effortless. They become like businesses that cannot afford to maintain their equipment or hire adequate staff, leading to declining performance and eventual failure if the financial crisis continues long enough. Surprising research from 2025 reveals the safety and effectiveness of low-dose creatine supplementation in seniors, even those managing chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and kidney problems. These studies directly challenge the outdated assumptions that have prevented older adults from accessing this valuable supplement. The research demonstrates that appropriate doses of creatine do not increase blood pressure, interfere with blood sugar control, or worsen existing health conditions when used under proper guidance. The 2025 studies tracked seniors using low-dose creatine for extended periods, measuring everything from kidney function to cardiovascular health to ensure safety across various health conditions. Participants with diabetes showed no negative effects on blood sugar control. Those with high blood pressure experienced no increases in blood pressure readings. Research published in Clinical Interventions in Aging shows that low-dose creatine is safe for kidneys in healthy seniors, eliminating the major safety concerns that have kept many older adults from considering creatine supplementation. The water retention that occurs with creatine supplementation happens inside muscle cells where it belongs, not in tissues where it causes uncomfortable bloating or swelling. This intracellular water retention actually improves muscle function by maintaining proper hydration at the cellular level where energy production occurs. Creatine's water pull effect into cells supports mTOR pathways and hydration roles that become increasingly important for aging muscle tissue. Your muscles hold onto water more effectively, which supports better performance and faster recovery rather than causing uncomfortable side effects. Creatine provides dual benefits that make it especially valuable for seniors. Improved muscle hydration combined with enhanced brain function that becomes increasingly important with age. The same energy storage system that supports muscle cells also benefits brain cells, which require enormous amounts of energy to maintain memory, focus, and cognitive processing. Creatine supplementation can improve mental clarity, reduce brain fog, and support better decision-making abilities that contribute to independence and quality of life. The brain benefits of creatine become particularly noticeable during mentally demanding activities or when dealing with stress that typically drains cognitive resources. Seniors often report feeling sharper and more mentally resilient when using creatine regularly. This cognitive enhancement works alongside the physical benefits to create comprehensive support for healthy aging that addresses both body and mind simultaneously. The perfect dosage for seniors differs dramatically from the amounts used by younger athletes, proving that less actually provides more effective results for older adults. Research published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy recommends 1 to 2 grams of pure creatine monohydrate per day for older adults. This lower dose provides all the cellular energy support needed without overwhelming aging kidneys or causing unnecessary water retention. The timing of creatine supplementation can enhance its effectiveness, particularly when taken in the evening before bed. During sleep, your body enters full recovery mode where cellular repair and energy storage occur most efficiently. Taking creatine before bed allows your muscle and brain cells to stock their energy reserves overnight, so you wake up with better cellular hydration and more available energy for the day ahead. This misunderstood supplement can help your muscles stay strong and hydrated even while you sleep, working continuously to maintain cellular energy reserves and support recovery processes that keep you feeling stronger and more capable each morning. The gentle, consistent support provided by appropriate creatine supplementation transforms how your muscles function throughout the day, providing the cellular foundation needed for maintained independence and vitality as you age. Having all 4 ingredients available means nothing without understanding how to combine them effectively and when to use each one for maximum benefit. The timing and coordination of these elements determines whether you experience dramatic improvements or disappointing results that leave you wondering why nothing seems to work. The perfect hydration symphony, timing and combinations. Creating an effective hydration schedule requires understanding how your body's needs change throughout each 24-hour cycle. Most people approach hydration like they're eating the same meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, never considering that their cellular requirements shift dramatically from morning to evening. This one-size-fits-all mentality explains why many seniors drink plenty of enhanced water, yet continue experiencing the same frustrating symptoms of poor muscle hydration. On average, your body follows predictable patterns that determine when each ingredient works most effectively. Research shows that kidney water reabsorption peaks in the morning hours, supporting the timing for lemon-salt combinations when your absorption systems operate at maximum efficiency. Your digestive system emerges from the overnight fasting period, primed for rapid nutrient uptake, making early morning the golden opportunity to establish proper hydration for the entire day ahead. In the morning, combine lemon juice and mineral salt in your first glass of water, consumed 20 minutes before breakfast. Your muscle cells wake up mildly dehydrated after 8 hours without fluid replacement, and they're primed for rapid rehydration if you provide the right molecular credentials. The citric acid activates sluggish absorption channels that have been dormant during sleep, while the mineral salt provides the electrolyte passport that muscle cells demand before allowing water entry. This timing allows your system to process the enhanced water before food competes for digestive attention. Midday represents the perfect timing for electrolyte powder supplementation, typically between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. when electrolyte absorption reaches peak efficiency. Your muscle cells have been working all morning and need mineral replenishment to maintain proper function through the remainder of the day. This prevents the energy crashes that seem to appear without warning during afternoon hours. The balanced electrolyte profile maintains cellular hydration while providing sustained mineral support without harsh effects of caffeine or artificial stimulants. Late afternoon calls for coconutwaterpowder, usually between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., when your body begins preparing for evening recovery processes. The natural potassium content supports muscle cells that have been active throughout the day, while the gentle energy from natural sugars helps maintain stable blood sugar levels during the typical afternoon dip. This timing ensures your muscles receive continued hydration support without interfering with evening routines or sleep patterns. Evening hydration focuses on recovery and preparation for overnight cellular repair processes that occur during deep sleep. Take creatine supplementation 30 to 60 minutes before bed, allowing your muscle and brain cells to stock their energy reserves overnight. During sleep, your body enters full recovery mode where cellular repair and energy storage occur most efficiently. This timing ensures you wake up with better cellular hydration and more available energy for the following day, reducing morning stiffness and improving flexibility. Combining ingredients creates hydration synergy, where individual components work together to accomplish something none of them could achieve alone. When you combine lemon and salt in the morning, the citric acid amplifies the effectiveness of the mineral salt, while the electrolytes enhance water absorption facilitated by the lemon. This partnership produces results that exceed the sum of their individual contributions, creating enhanced hydration that reaches muscle tissue more efficiently than either ingredient used separately. The research on circadian hydration patterns in aging adults reveals specific timing windows that maximize absorption and utilization of enhanced water. Seniors absorb water most effectively during the first 2 hours after waking, making this the optimal time for lemon-salt combinations. Electrolyte absorption peaks during mid-morning and early afternoon hours, creating ideal timing for powder consumption. Creatine uptake increases during evening hours when cellular repair processes activate, supporting the recommendation for bedtime supplementation. Personalizing your hydration strategy based on activity level and health conditions ensures optimal results while avoiding potential complications. Seniors who maintain active lifestyles need different timing and combinations than those who live more sedentary lives. People managing diabetes must consider the natural sugars in coconut water and adjust timing around blood glucose monitoring. Those taking blood pressure medications need careful attention to sodium intake timing to avoid interactions that could affect medication effectiveness. Adjusting combinations for different situations allows you to optimize hydration support based on changing circumstances and environmental challenges. Hot weather demands increased fluid intake and electrolyte supplementation to compensate for additional losses through perspiration. Post-exercise periods require combinations of electrolytes and creatine to support muscle recovery and replenish energy stores depleted during physical activity. Recovery days following illness benefit from gentle combinations that support healing without overwhelming compromised systems. The simple daily schedule that transforms scattered hydration attempts into a powerful muscle-supporting system follows this pattern. Morning lemon salt water upon waking, midday electrolyte powder between breakfast and lunch, late afternoon coconut water powder, and evening creatine supplementation before bed. This schedule provides continuous hydration support throughout the day while allowing each ingredient to work at optimal timing for maximum effectiveness. This orchestrated approach ensures that your muscle cells receive consistent support rather than experiencing the feast or famine cycles that result from random supplementation timing. Your cellular hydration becomes predictable and reliable, creating the foundation for maintained muscle strength, improved flexibility, and sustained energy levels that support independent living and active aging. The dramatic changes possible with proper implementation become apparent within days of following an optimized schedule that respects your body's natural rhythms. However, even the most carefully planned hydration strategy can fail completely when well-meaning mistakes transform helpful supplements into expensive disappointments. Dodging the hydration landmines, common mistakes that sabotage success. Understanding these potential pitfalls becomes essential for anyone serious about transforming their muscle health through enhanced hydration. 3 primary mistakes account for most failures despite good intentions and quality supplements. The first major error involves overdosing with the misguided belief that more supplements automatically produce better results. Many seniors discover that electrolytes improve their hydration and immediately assume that doubling or tripling the recommended amounts will accelerate their progress. This approach backfires completely because your body can only absorb limited quantities of minerals at any given time. Research published in JAMA demonstrates that excessive supplement doses offer no extra benefit and are simply excreted by the kidneys, creating expensive waste without providing additional muscle support. Your digestive system becomes overwhelmed when flooded with excessive minerals, triggering elimination processes that remove both the excess supplements and valuable nutrients your body actually needs. The enthusiasm that drives people to consume tablespoons of mineral salt instead of pinches, or multiple servings of electrolyte powder throughout the day, transforms helpful supplements into biological stress that forces your kidneys to work overtime. These well-meaning individuals essentially pay premium prices to create mineral-rich urine while making their original hydration problems worse. The body maintains strict limits on mineral absorption regardless of how much you consume, making moderation more effective than excess in every situation. Poor timing represents the second critical mistake that neutralizes supplement effectiveness even when dosages remain appropriate. Some people consume all 4 ingredients simultaneously in morning smoothies that overwhelm their digestive systems and create competition between different compounds for absorption pathways. Others space their supplements incorrectly, taking creatine during the day when cellular uptake is minimal, or consuming electrolytes late at night when kidney processing interferes with sleep quality. The timing of enhanced hydration determines whether supplements reach muscle cells or get processed as waste before providing any meaningful benefits. Digestive system operates according to predictable rhythms that determine when different nutrients absorb most efficiently. Ignoring these natural patterns by consuming everything at once or at random times throughout the day prevents your body from utilizing supplements effectively. Your kidneys never get the opportunity to properly process and distribute minerals because the constant flood of mixed supplements triggers continuous elimination rather than selective absorption and retention. The third major pitfall involves ignoring medical conditions and medication interactions that require modifications to standard hydration approaches. Diuretics commonly prescribed for high blood pressure increase fluid loss and elevate dehydration risk, making standard electrolyte recommendations inadequate for people taking these medications. Blood thinners can interact with certain minerals in ways that affect medication effectiveness. Diabetes medications may require timing adjustments when using coconut water or other natural supplements that contain small amounts of sugar. Background research on elderly medication regimens reveals that many commonly prescribed drugs cause dehydration as a side effect. Yet most seniors never receive guidance about adjusting their hydration strategies accordingly. Heart conditions, kidney problems, and liver disease all create special circumstances that demand modifications to general supplement advice. People managing these conditions often assume they cannot use any supplements safely, or they proceed without consulting healthcare providers who could help them adjust dosages and timing appropriately. Both approaches lead to missed opportunities for improvement or potentially dangerous interactions that could have been avoided with proper medical guidance. The perfectionism trap causes people to quit entirely when they miss a day or make mistakes in their routine. These individuals approach hydration improvement like a strict diet that becomes worthless if violated even once. They miss their morning lemon water because of a rushed schedule and decide the entire day is ruined. They forget their evening creatine dose and conclude they have failed completely. This all-or-nothing thinking prevents them from recognizing that consistency over time matters more than perfection every single day. Quality control issues with supplements represent another expensive problem that affects many seniors who assume all products work equally well. The supplement industry varies widely in terms of manufacturing standards, ingredient purity, and accurate labeling. Cheap electrolyte powders may contain fillers and artificial ingredients that cause digestive upset or provide minimal actual mineral content. Low-quality creatine may not dissolve properly or may contain impurities that reduce effectiveness. Coconut water powders vary dramatically in terms of processing methods that affect nutrient retention. Avoiding ineffective products requires understanding what to look for on labels and knowing which manufacturers maintain higher standards. Third-party testing certifications indicate that products actually contain what their labels claim. Manufacturing facility certifications suggest better quality control processes. Ingredient lists should be short and recognizable rather than filled with chemical names and artificial additives. Price alone does not indicate quality, but extremely cheap supplements often reflect corners cut during manufacturing processes. The simple approach that prevents costly mistakes includes consulting healthcare providers about medication interactions before beginning any supplement routine, starting with single ingredients rather than combining everything immediately, purchasing supplements from reputable manufacturers with third-party testing, following recommended dosages rather than assuming more produces better results, spacing supplements throughout the day according to optimal timing guidelines, and allowing adequate time for cellular changes to become apparent before making adjustments. Quality matters more than quantity when it comes to supplement effectiveness. Consistency trumps perfection in terms of long-term results. Patience allows time for cellular improvements that may not be immediately obvious, but create cumulative benefits over weeks and months. Understanding these principles prevents the expensive mistakes that derail many well-intentioned efforts to improve muscle hydration and overall health. When you avoid these common pitfalls and implement your enhanced hydration strategy correctly, your body begins responding in ways that become increasingly obvious as days and weeks progress. The 30-day hydration transformation. What to expect? The measurable changes that occur during your hydration transformation follow a predictable timeline that validates what many people experience as their muscle cells regain proper function. Most people approach this process with healthy skepticism, wondering if simple additions to their water can really make a noticeable difference in how their body feels and performs. The progression from doubtful to convinced happens gradually, but consistently as cellular improvements accumulate into changes that become impossible to dismiss. Week 1 brings the first clear evidence that something important is shifting inside your muscle tissue. The morning stiffness that usually requires 30 or 40 minutes to resolve begins improving more quickly, sometimes within 15 minutes of getting up and moving around. Your muscles feel slightly more responsive to stretching and movement, though the changes remain subtle enough that you might question whether they represent real improvement or wishful thinking. Sleep quality often enhances during this first week, as nighttime muscle cramps become less frequent and intense. The early signs of success emerge most clearly in small details that many people overlook until they start paying attention. Getting out of bed feels less like wrestling with stiff machinery and more like normal movement. Standing up from chairs becomes smoother without the usual pause to let your muscles catch up with your intentions. The afternoon energy crashes that typically hit around 2 or 3 o'clock become less severe, or sometimes disappear entirely for days at a time. Week 2 delivers more obvious improvements that build confidence in the approach and encourage continued consistency. Morning flexibility increases noticeably as muscle tissue responds more readily to movement and stretching. The time required to feel fully mobile after waking continues decreasing, often reaching 10 minutes or less compared to the previous 30 to 40 minutes. Energy levels throughout the day become more stable without the dramatic fluctuations that characterize poor cellular hydration. Physical activities that once left you feeling drained and sore become more manageable during the second week. Walking longer distances feels less taxing. Household chores that previously required rest breaks can be completed more easily. Recovery time after exertion shortens as properly hydrated muscle cells repair themselves more efficiently. These improvements create positive momentum where increased capability leads to more activity, which further enhances muscle function. Week 3 often brings the most dramatic improvements as multiple systems begin working together more effectively. Balance and coordination show noticeable enhancement as muscle cells respond more quickly to stability challenges. The wobbly feeling that makes you reach for walls or furniture becomes less frequent or disappears entirely. Physical confidence increases as your body feels more reliable and predictable in its responses. By week 3, studies show a 12% strength gain and 15% improved gait speed in seniors who maintain consistent enhanced hydration protocols. Research tracking hydration improvements in seniors over 30 days provides specific measurable outcomes that validate these subjective experiences. Studies demonstrate that cellular hydration levels increase by an average of 18% during the first 2 weeks of proper supplementation. Balance scores on standardized tests increase by 15% after 1 month of consistent enhanced hydration. These objective measurements confirm what people feel happening in their daily lives as their muscles regain proper function. Patience becomes essential during this transformation because cellular changes happen gradually and may not follow perfectly linear progression. Some days feel better than others as your body adjusts to improved hydration and learns to utilize enhanced resources more efficiently. The temptation to increase dosages or add more supplements during slower progress periods can actually interfere with the adaptation process and should be resisted in favor of consistency with the established routine. Quick improvements that maintain motivation include immediate enhancement in morning flexibility, better sleep quality within the first few days, reduced frequency of muscle cramps, and more stable energy levels throughout the day. These early victories provide encouragement during the weeks when deeper cellular changes are occurring, but may not yet be obvious in daily function. Recognizing these small improvements helps maintain the consistency needed for long-term success. Individual responses vary based on starting hydration status, overall health conditions, medication regimens, and activity levels. Some people notice dramatic improvements within days, while others require several weeks to experience obvious changes. Factors like chronic dehydration severity, existing muscle mass, and concurrent health issues all influence the timeline and magnitude of improvements. Understanding this variability prevents unrealistic expectations and premature abandonment of effective strategies. The specific milestones that indicate successful muscle adaptation to enhanced hydration include morning stiffness resolving within 10 minutes of waking, stable energy levels lasting throughout the day without afternoon crashes, improved balance confidence during challenging movements, reduced frequency and intensity of muscle cramps, faster recovery times after physical activities, increased strength for daily tasks like lifting and carrying, better sleep quality with fewer nighttime disturbances, and enhanced endurance for walking and other activities. Measuring your personal progress requires attention to concrete changes rather than vague feelings about improvement. Track how long your morning stiffness lasts each day, noting when it drops below 15 minutes and eventually reaches 10 minutes or less. Record your energy levels at different times throughout the day, watching for the disappearance of afternoon crashes. Test your balance confidence by timing how long you can stand on one foot with eyes closed, expecting gradual improvements over the 3-week period. These markers provide concrete evidence that your cellular hydration strategy is working effectively and creating lasting improvements in muscle function. However, the changes occurring in your muscles represent only the beginning of what becomes possible when your entire body receives the hydration support it has been desperately needing. Beyond muscles, the surprising ripple effects of smart hydration. The cognitive improvements that emerge from proper hydration often catch people completely off guard as brain function enhances in ways that become noticeable within weeks of starting enhanced hydration support. Your brain tissue contains more water than any other organ in your body, requiring constant hydration to maintain optimal performance. When your cells throughout the body become better at accepting and retaining water, your brain cells benefit from this improved efficiency, just like your muscle cells do. Research shows that even mild dehydration can significantly affect cognitive abilities, including memory, mood, concentration, and reaction time. The National Council on Aging explains that adding extra water to your daily intake can have positive effects on cognition, stabilize emotions, and even combat feelings of anxiety. This becomes especially important for older adults who face higher risks for both dehydration and impaired cognitive function, as natural aging processes affect multiple body systems simultaneously. The cognitive improvements manifest in practical ways that enhance daily life and independence. Conversations feel more effortless as words come to mind more readily. Following complex instructions or managing multiple tasks becomes less mentally taxing. Memory recall improves for both recent events and long-term memories that seem to be fading. Mental fatigue that previously hit during afternoon hours becomes less severe or disappears entirely as brain cells receive consistent hydration support. People who started this journey hoping to reduce morning stiffness suddenly find themselves thinking more clearly during conversations. Those who wanted better energy levels discover that their mental sharpness improves alongside their physical capabilities. The brain fog that many seniors accept as inevitable begins lifting as cellular hydration reaches optimal levels throughout the nervous system. Joint health represents another area where enhanced hydration creates remarkable improvements that extend well beyond muscle tissue. The synovial fluid that lubricates your joints depends on adequate body water content to maintain its proper consistency and protective properties. When your overall hydration improves through the 4-ingredient approach, joint movement becomes smoother and less painful as this crucial lubricating fluid receives the water content it needs to function effectively. Morning joint stiffness resolves more quickly when synovial fluid maintains proper hydration levels. Activities that previously caused joint discomfort become more tolerable and enjoyable as the cushioning and lubrication systems work more efficiently. The connection between muscle hydration and joint function becomes obvious as both systems benefit from the same enhanced water absorption and retention that your targeted approach provides. The unexpected benefits that seniors discover as their hydration improves often catch them completely off guard. What starts as a simple effort to help muscles accept water more readily triggers improvements that reach multiple body systems. Better hydration supports all organ systems throughout the body, creating a foundation for enhanced function that extends far beyond the original goal of muscle maintenance. Better cellular hydration improves mood, energy levels, and social engagement through multiple mechanisms that work together to enhance overall well-being. Properly hydrated brain cells produce neurotransmitters more effectively, supporting better mood regulation and emotional stability. Energy production at the cellular level becomes more efficient when cells can maintain adequate water content. Social interactions feel less taxing when physical discomfort decreases and mental clarity improves through enhanced hydration. The mood improvements often surprise people who had attributed their irritability and low energy entirely to other life circumstances. Chronic mild dehydration contributes to fatigue, brain fog, and physical discomfort that make normal interactions feel overwhelming and unpleasant. As hydration improves, these underlying stressors diminish, making social activities more enjoyable and relationships more satisfying. Energy level stabilization throughout the day eliminates the exhausting cycle of peaks and crashes that characterize poor cellular hydration. Instead of fighting through afternoon slumps and evening fatigue, properly hydrated seniors maintain more consistent energy that supports sustained activity and engagement with family and friends. This stability makes planning activities more predictable and enjoyable. The 2025 research on systemic benefits of proper hydration in aging adults reveals improvements that extend well beyond muscle health into virtually every aspect of physical and mental function. The National Council on Aging emphasizes that staying hydrated represents a key component of maintaining good health, noting that dehydration can lead to health complications ranging from mild to life-threatening, including urinary tract infections, heat stroke, heart problems, kidney failure, and blood clot complications. Encouraging examples of how improved hydration enhances overall quality of life include people who regain confidence in their physical abilities and start participating in activities they had given up. Social engagement increases as energy levels improve and daily tasks become less taxing. Many seniors report feeling more optimistic and enthusiastic about their daily routines when chronic fatigue and discomfort begin lifting through better hydration support. The long-term implications for healthy aging become increasingly clear as multiple body systems benefit from enhanced cellular hydration. This foundation supports maintained independence, continued social engagement, and sustained quality of life as natural aging processes continue. The simple changes in hydration habits create a cornerstone that touches every aspect of daily life and long-term health outcomes. These widespread improvements demonstrate that addressing hydration challenges represents far more than a simple health optimization strategy. The ripple effects reach into every corner of your physical and mental well-being, creating possibilities that seemed impossible just weeks earlier. Understanding this broader impact reveals the true significance of what you can accomplish with 4 simple ingredients and the commitment to use them consistently. The power to change how your body ages starts with your very next glass of water. You now possess the knowledge to transform your morning hydration from rejected liquid into muscle-saving fuel that your cells will actually welcome and use. The 4 ingredients lemon and mineral salt, electrolyte powder, coconut water powder, and creatine work together to address the specific hydration challenges that emerge after 60. Start with just 1 ingredient tomorrow morning. Add lemon and mineral salt to your first glass of water. Feel the difference within days, then gradually introduce the other ingredients as your confidence grows. Your muscles have been waiting patiently for this knowledge, and they are ready to respond with renewed strength and vitality. Try tomorrow's first ingredient. Add half a lemon and a pinch of mineral salt to 16 ounces of water 20 minutes before breakfast.